Welcome back to another ChibitQuestions Q&A, my fellow Chibits. I am sorry for the delay. I am finally here once again to bring you a new video to answer many of the questions you all have been asking. And so, let us begin. Most expensive anime item. Well, this is relatively easy. Definitely, I would say the Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works BD bundle, or anything to do with Fate, honestly, or anything with Aniplex, is usually the most expensive anime items you could possibly buy. But I have to say, out of all the things in my room, all the things I have bought, when it comes to figures, to anything, any merchandise, I would say it always comes down to Fate being the most expensive. It definitely was Fate. I mean, the entirety of Fate is ridiculous, because I bought this when I still had to pre-order it before, it came out into the States. I have, the BD that was getting imported to America, and so it was pretty fucking hefty. I think it was around like $300 something, and the only reason why I decided to spend that much money on Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works was because it was such a fun series. I love Fate Zero, and I loved, supporting a company that wanted to put in a lot of quality and a lot of good work and a lot of production into a series you could tell they really care about. And so I decided to support Fate Stay Night, and I bought it. But definitely when it comes to the most expensive anime item, it would definitely be the Fate Stay Night, BD bundle I had to buy. It was absolutely fucking expensive. What is your favorite memory from when you were a kid? Ooh, now this is a very good question. See, I have a lot of memories when I was a kid. So many good memories, in fact. I don't know which one I want to choose. But if I had to say, like, one that really pops up into my mind, I think one of my most fondest memories I had when I was a kid, I think, was when I went to Universal Studios and all that. I went to Disneyland, and I was doing all sorts of different rides and stuff, and I remember going to Space Mountain. Space Mountain was a very fun ride. I really love Space Mountain. I think I was around like 9 or 10 years old when I went there, and it was for my birthday, and I had so much fun just going to the amusement park and all that, and that was one of my favorite moments as a kid, just getting to go to Disneyland and all that type of stuff, and, cherishing the rides. I remember the Back to the Future ride. I remember getting on the Mummy. I remember the, not the Superman. I think the Hulk one was out, too. There was a Hulk one or whatever. I think I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've been there, because I've only been to Disneyland and Universal Studios and all that once in my life. But it was a very long time ago, but I had a lot of fun, and one that I do remember is definitely Space Mountain. That was one of my favorite rides. I loved the atmosphere of that ride, and it was just such a wonderful joy I had and fun moment of my life. Now, besides, I guess, Disney and Universal Studios, other amusement parks I went to was like Busch Gardens and Adventure Islands in Florida. Had a lot of fun with those too. Mainly Adventure Islands. I loved going in the lazy river and just chilling back when I was a kid. I remember I used to go there like once a week. I'm not even joking. I went there once a week, had fun, went after school, and just chilled till around like 5 or 6 in the middle of the day, and then went home, and that was about it. It was very fun. I had a lot of fun when I was a kid, especially when I used to live in Florida. If you meet Ishida, what would you say to him about TG-Re? Tragedy. Kill everyone, Ishida. Kill every single fucking character. Make sure they fucking die. Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop joking around. If for some reason I magically got to meet Ishida, like for some reason, somehow I managed to meet him and get to have a good conversation with him and all that, I'll just probably tell him this: Ishida, continue writing what you're writing, do what you want to do, don't let people dictate what you do and don't want to do, make sure you write what you can truly appreciate and enjoy and look back at and be proud of. I want Ishida's story to be what he envisioned, what he wants, instead of someone else controlling it for him, because there's a lot of writers out there that are forced to change their series thanks to the audience or the readers, and I'm glad Ishida, in a way, is very well hidden. He hasn't revealed his face, he hasn't revealed his true name. We don't know much about Ishida, because if we did, I'm willing to bet many would be bugging him right now about all the controversial things that happened in Tokyo Ghoul, and he might have changed his series a long time ago. So I'm glad, in the most part, Ishida is hidden, and he continues to stay hidden. And even if I was to meet him, I don't think I probably would talk about it, because I wouldn't want to reveal anything on Ishida, and maybe people might find out more about him, because if he wants to stay secret, I think we should honestly honor that. So, moving on to the next question. Would you still love Holo if she was a dude? Holo is Holo, no matter the gender. I would be fine with a trap Holo, to be honest. How long have you been a fan of Pokemon, and how much of a fan are you? I've been a fan for 8 years, and I'm a huge fan. Okay, so this is a very good question. So, how long have I been a fan of Pokemon? I guess I've been a fan of Pokemon since I was around 4 years old, maybe 3. It was a very early stage of my life. I remember having the brick Game Boy and then the Game Boy Color. Remember that big fucking grayish brick? I still have it somewhere around in this house right now. I don't know exactly where it's at. It's in box or something. But I do still have my old brickish fucking Game Boy. I'm not even joking. I still have that old little one that had like the greenish looking tint screen. It had no color. I still have that somewhere. But I know for a fact, though, I was playing Pokemon Blue and Red and Yellow constantly when I was a kid. I remember constantly choosing different starters, and I always chose Charmander over any other starter. And then eventually when Pokemon Yellow I got to play that, I had a lot of fun with that. I love getting to play as, you know, Ash, and then, have Pikachu on my side. It was a very fun time I had. And then eventually I moved over to, Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. And I moved over into, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And then Diamond and Pearl. And then I kind of fell off after that for a little while. And then now I moved over to X and Y. I played a little bit of that. And I've had a lot of fun with it. But when it comes to Black and White, I actually haven't played any of those Pokemon versions. I haven't played Black and White or Black and White 2, which is kind of sad. It's just I haven't had the time to really dive into it, but I'm still a big fan of Pokemon. And when it comes to the new Pokemon that was kind of introduced to new starters, I'm more of the Flame Cat. I'm a bigger fan of the Flame Cat Pokemon starters than anything else. I'm not a big fan of that fucking water starter. No, I'm sorry, just like, kitten, no, that was a ugly looking starter. So yeah, I'm gonna probably go with either the fire starter or the grass starter, because it's one of those two that look the best. And I like the cute little owl, and I like the cat. I might go with the cat though, because I've always gone with the fire starter in almost every single Pokemon generation I've played. So there you go. But yes, I am a huge fan. I might not be one of the biggest fans, but I am a fan of Pokemon. Would you review One Piece anime again? That's a very difficult question. Has Toei Animation learned to actually put quality into a series that deserves it? Have they actually decided to finally take One Piece seriously and go back to the glory days that they once were when it came to the Whitebeard War and previous arcs before that? Are they actually doing good now, or are they just doing one episode that's amazing, but then they go back to being very lazy? Curious about that. Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below on that one. Do you know any other language? And if not, what language would you want to learn? Japanese does not count. Okay, so Japanese does not count. Obviously, I know English, and, I would want to learn Japanese, for I wouldn't have to need subtitles, and then also I could, read light novels untranslated. But since I can't learn Japanese, Japanese doesn't count. What language would I want to learn? Chinese. I'll work around what you just said. I would want to learn Chinese, because a lot of Japanese light novels get translated into, Chinese sometimes, and so I would like to learn Chinese. Yeah, I would like to learn Chinese for I could, read light novels. Definitely. That's exactly the language I would want. How are you liking Diamond is Unbreakable, and how hyped are you for the final villain? I'm pretty damn hyped, because I actually just finished the latest episode of Diamond is Unbreakable. I'm not going to spoil anything, because some of you, since, the episode is fresh, it came out today, like less than 1 hour ago, I don't actually want to spoil the events of the episode, but I will say I am really enjoying the events of Diamond is Unbreakable. I'm really loving the atmosphere of it. I love the setting. I love the opening song. The opening song is really growing on me, by the way. Koichi as a character is definitely improved, and I love his spotlight in the series, and I also love the very unique stands that are being displayed in Part 4 of JoJo. When it comes to the final villain, I have no idea who it is. I've heard that it's going to be a very interesting villain, but that's all I really know at this time. But I am pretty damn hyped, because when it comes to final villains of JoJo parts, usually they're pretty damn badass. I mean, look, your last villain, the final villain of last part was Dio. The villain before that was Cars. And, I mean, Dio is kind of the final villain of part 1. And this one, I have no idea who to expect, but I'm expecting someone pretty damn badass. And I hope their motive is really awesome as well. So I can't wait to see exactly who the final villain is. But also, yes, I am pretty damn hyped up for when the final villain finally does appear. Favorite food? Food that you don't like. Let's see. I'm a big fan of mint. Overall, I'm a big fan of any mint ice cream or anything like that. I just love mint. Mint tea, mint ice cream, just anything mint is something I truly enjoy. And if it's not mint, I guess it's strawberry cheesecake. It's one of those two I really am at a kind of a tie with when it comes to one of my favorite foods. Now, foods that I don't like, or a food I don't like, There's not many things I dislike. It's a real rarity with things I dislike, but if I had to say one thing I truly cannot really enjoy that much, I would say I'm not a big fan of German chocolate cake. I'm not a big fan of German chocolate cake. I've never been. My dad loves German chocolate cake. That's his favorite fucking cake. But I am not a German chocolate cake fan. I hate this stuff. I really do. I don't know what it is. I just do not like German chocolate cake. Big fan of red velvet though. I love red velvet. I love strawberry cheesecake and stuff. But I hate German chocolate cake. That is definitely something I dislike a lot. Chibi, can you moonwalk or dance in any way? Okay, so let me be straight with you. I did a dance video a long time ago. I don't know. It's somewhere in my earlier videos. I think it was actually the 1000 Chibit special, actually. I made a dance video. I think it is. You can go back to Chibi Talk playlist, and you can probably see it in the earlier portions of the videos I put up, where you'll probably see me dancing. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not a very good dancer. I'm very bad at it, and I would probably break something if I did. I have so many cords around because, you know, my lights are hooked up and all that. I would break some shit if I tried to dance right now. But can I moonwalk? Oh, hell no. I cannot moonwalk. There is no way in fuck I can. And if I could dance anyway, here you go. I'll dance for you. Just a dance. There you go. 10 out of 10 dancing right there. But no, I cannot moonwalk. What quirk would you imagine having, and what would be the side effect of your quirk? Have the ability to display my inner world. That's something I think would be very interesting. Now, you're probably wondering what I'm getting at. Like, I'm kind of thinking of something very similar to a Noble Phantasm, like Unlimited Blade Works from Fate Stay Night. Like, imagine being able to have your inner mind, your world that you envision, come out into the open, and then you're able to control this room, this space around you in any way you think. Kind of like how Law is in One Piece, but imagine being able to control this space in any way you see fit. For instance, you can literally destroy and create different things in this certain space you have your radius. I would love to see a quirk ability like this. And then the side effect of this quirk, let's see, what type of side effect would kind of suit? I guess the side effect would be I couldn't alter myself in any way. I can alter the things around me in this space, but I can't alter myself, so I couldn't make myself immortal in this space. I couldn't make myself, you know, like being able to just be super strong or something. I could only create things or destroy things in this certain area, but I cannot, you know, mess with myself in any way. I feel like that would be a perfect side effect to such an OP quirk. If you can choose a character from an anime/manga to go on a journey with, who would it be and why? Holo is the one that instantly pops in my mind, but, you know, leaving off the answer that usually would be the norm for saying just Holo, let me think of something different. Which character would I like to go on a journey with? The Elric brothers. I would like to journey with the Elric brothers. I really would. I think that would be a character, any type of characters I would like to journey with. The Elric brothers from Full Metal Alchemist. Instantly. Is School Days your favorite anime? The troll is strong in you right now. No, I hate that fucking series. What does an anime have to do to make you cry? Death, happy endings, etc.? I think it comes down to the writing, how you get invested in the characters or said series, and how the writer displays it. It really comes down to the execution. It's not always death that makes you cry, but it comes down to just how connected or close you are with the series. I mean, if you spent like hundreds upon hundreds of hours with a series, like let's say One Piece. One Piece is a perfect example. You've read the chapter from chapter 1 all the way to chapter 1987, okay? And you've read it to that chapter. You've been with it for a majority of your entire life. You spent countless years working or, you know, watching or reading this series, and then it finally ends. You might tear up. You might finally get sad because you're like, holy shit, I've been so connected with these characters, and it's over. It's done. It's GG. It's no more. That's how I could think, you know, when an anime or manga can make you cry. I feel like that's when. Because when you get so connected to a series, you get emotionally invested. Show us your forehead and prove that your hair isn't a wig. You see that? It's not a wig. And so, last but not least, let's let this comment just answer itself. I don't think I need to really, say anything to this one. I don't, so, yeah. Anyways, you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Thank you so much for all the questions, my fellow Chibits. Please leave me more in the comments below, and I will see you all again next week for another Q&A. Please be safe, and I love you all. Chibi out.